stories about vegetables. A Sprig of Parsley, written and narrated by Paul Cook. A Sprig of Parsley. A sprig of parsley is a tasty thing, especially when served on top of a cottage pie. Once, a sprig of parsley wanted to be a seagull instead of being just a boring sprig of parsley. As it grew in the soil, it thought what a lovely life it could have if it could only change into a seagull. It had seen seagulls from where it was planted and thought that they always looked so happy flying high up in the sky. This particular parsley was green, as most sprigs of parsley are. The stalk was light green, but the leaves were dark green. The main stalk split into two, and each stalk had many small leaves sprouting from the top of them. One sunny morning, the sprig of parsley who wanted to be a seagull was pulled from the soil in which it was growing at a farm somewhere near here. The soil was shaken from the roots of the parsley, and then it was sprayed with water and put into a large sack. The sack was filled with other sprigs of parsley, and then loaded onto a lorry. The pigs in the field by the road just stood still and looked at the lorry full of parsley as it trundled on by, clank, creak, clunk. After a while, the lorry stopped, and the back of it was opened up. The sacks were taken into a factory and emptied into a very large container. Several people wearing gloves stood beside the container sorting the parsley into batches and placed them onto a moving conveyor belt. Some of the parsley, including our sprig, didn't make it into the container, but instead was spilled onto the floor where the sacks were emptied. A tiny microbe, called Mike, spoke to the parsley and told it that this factory was made for chopping up parsley and sending it to supermarkets in plastic packets. The parsley decided that it didn't want to be put on a conveyor belt to get chopped up and sent off to a supermarket in a plastic packet, so it began to run towards the main door of the factory. A gust of wind swept the parsley into the air as soon as it left the building, and it blew across the car park and landed on a dirty drain cover. The parsley just lay there on the drain cover for a few moments until a seagull swooped down and flew off with it in its beak. The seagull flew out to sea carrying the sprig of parsley. The sprig wriggled free from the seagull's beak quicker than a...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?